December 2nd, the Clausen family countdown to Christmas, Fireman. 23 days till Christmas. Cam was the first one up on the second morning of December. He was eager to take his turn selecting the next figurine for the Christmas village. Cam jumped up onto Molly's bed. "Wake up, it's time for another adventure," he said. As Molly stretched, Cam ran off to get dressed. Molly was not an early riser and took her time picking clothes for the day. After she dressed, she wandered into the kitchen to find Cam already eating breakfast. Once they had both finished eating, the children asked Mom if they could have the satin box. "After you brush your teeth and clean your rooms, you can pick today's villager," said Mom. Molly went off to brush her teeth while Cam hurried to his room to pick up. Cam stuffed toys into boxes, bins, and under the bed as fast as he could. At the bedroom door, he spotted his toy dragon, Peter. Putting Peter into his pants pocket, Cam was ready for the day's adventure. He grabbed Molly out of the bathroom, and the children hurried to retrieve the satin box. Cam reminded Molly that it was his turn to pick the villager. "I know that, Cam. Just hurry so we can see Ella," said Molly. "So now you're in a hurry," said Cam. He opened the satin box and looked carefully at each villager. After more time than Molly could stand, Cam finally selected a fireman. Molly thought it was odd that a fireman would be part of a Christmas village, but at last they were ready to go. As the children approached the tiny village, Molly was happy to see Ella on the church steeple. Molly was sure that the elf fairy would be watching over them in the village. Cam looked to find the best spot for the fireman. He placed the villager near a fire hydrant by the fire station. Suddenly, the children were swept into a wild flurry of snow and, gazump, landed right into the village. Picking themselves up, Molly and Cam saw the village come to life, including the fireman. They looked up to find Ella, but she was not on the church steeple. Cam felt something moving in his pocket. He stuck his hand inside and cried out, "Something bit me!" The toy in his pocket was growing, ripping his pants until it had finally escaped. "Wow!" cried Cam. "My toy dragon has come to life." Peter the dragon was now monstrous. His green-scaled body was lined with dark purple. Horns topped the dragon's head, and sharp spikes lined his long tail. The children stood frozen with fear. Dazed and confused, Peter stumbled backwards. Stretching his enormous wings, the dragon coughed. A small puff of fire escaped his mouth. Peter realized that the children and other villagers were frightened. He moved very slowly to assure them they were not in danger. The dragon was one of Cam's favorite toys. Peter did not want Cam to be afraid of him. The fireman connected his hose to the nearby hydrant, ready to protect the villagers from the fiery beast. Peter could not speak to let the children know he meant them no harm. The dragon lowered his head slowly, hoping that Cam would see the kindness in his eyes. Cam looked into the dragon's yellow eyes and screamed. Molly closed her eyes and covered her ears. Thinking the dragon was going to eat the children, the fireman opened the water hose full force on the beast. Peter was startled by the sudden blast of water. He reared up and opened his mouth, releasing a stream of fire directly toward Cam and Molly. Ella swooped in out of nowhere. She stepped in front of the children, opening her wings to protect them. The fireman continued to blast Peter with water. The dragon suddenly flew off into the enchanted forest. When the smoke cleared, the children could see that Ella's wings were charred. As Molly cried, Ella assured her that she would be okay. "My wings will heal with some rest," said Ella. The fireman offered to take the children home. Ella embraced Cam and Molly. "Be sure that all of your pockets are empty before coming into the village," said Ella. "As you can see, everything comes to life here." With tears rolling off his cheeks, Cam promised Ella he would be more careful. "Peter is supposed to be a friendly dragon," he said. "I don't know what has happened to him." Ella told the children of an evil troll in the enchanted forest. "The troll has cast many evil spells and perhaps cast one on your dragon," said Ella. Cam and Molly had enough excitement for the day and went home willingly with the fireman. Kneeling to comfort the children, the fireman introduced himself. "My name is Brad. They call me Big Brad. Let me know if you ever need anything while you're in the village," he said. Molly and Cam could see why the fireman was called Big Brad. He was very tall, with broad shoulders and fiery red hair. Knowing that Big Brad was there to help them was comforting indeed. Opening the front door, the children were greeted with a warm smile and a big hug from Mom. It was nice to be home. As Mom tucked the children into bed that night, she said, "You've had a busy day. Get a good night's rest and have sweet dreams." Molly and Cam wondered what sort of dreams they would have after today's adventure and what tomorrow would bring. To be continued. See you tomorrow.